Good morning, Rotarians. Thank you for joining us. This club meeting is called to order. So shortly, I'll be sharing my screen and leading us through another fun presentation to direct the conversation. Periodically, I'll bring that down so that we can see each other's beautiful and friendly faces, engage in more dialogue. Family and friends are always welcome at our meetings, so don't hesitate to invite someone like maybe our local oyster farmers. Feel free to speak out as you would in an in-person meeting, but if you're not using your microphone, be sure to put yourself on mute, or maybe I'll do it at the cost of a club fine. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So welcome everybody to the Fortuna Sunrise Rotary Club meeting for May 5th, 2021. And this is volume 44 of my presidential year. We have an amazing Rotary Club, and I am so thankful to be a part of it. And at this time, I'll bring this screen share down and introduce any guests we have. Doing a quick scan to see if we got anybody else. Wait, we've got Bruce this morning, Bruce Janigian. Thank you for joining us all the way from Sonoma. Thank you, thank you. And I believe you'll be our program today too, so thanks for being here.
Thank you all.
Yeah, awesome. And the rest of you guys are just outstanding. Thanks. No introduction needed. All right. So at this time, typically we'd be doing a flag salute, but you know, it's a virtual meeting and speaking in unison is a challenge. So why not a little bit of an American history lesson? Do you know in this day in 1891, Carnegie Hall, originally called the Music Hall, had its official opening. That was today in New York City. And the concert was conducted by maestro Walter Damrosch, and the composer was Peter Tchaikovsky that night. 1961, also on this day, Alan B. Shepard Jr. became the first American in space today, soaring for 115 miles above the Earth in a spacecraft named Freedom 7. There you go. Inspirational message. It's not enough to have lived, but we should be determined to live for something. May I suggest that it be creating joy for others, sharing what we have for the betterment of personkind, bringing hope to the lost and love to the lonely.
Ooh.
Heavy, huh? Let's do it.
That's yeah.
Let's do it today. All right, and four-way test. We're going to call on Don Winterhome. Don.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
So the four-way test, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build better goodwill and better friendship? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
There you go. Hey, that third one's so important. You got to say it a couple of times. Good reminder to us all every day. Let's see here. Oh, flags on Main Street. That is May 31st. We're a couple weeks away, but we're going to need all hands on deck. A couple of the key players won't be there, so just mark it on your calendars. Anybody can be out there. It's a really fun service project. We'll put the flags out in the morning. That's usually the more well-attended one, but the afternoon, if we could get more folks in there, that'd be fantastic. May 31st, Memorial Day weekend. Cool. All right. And hey, our Rotary Club is all fired up. So what are we all fired up about? Our club has decided that the first responders, and particularly our local Fortuna volunteer fire department, are a great cause to fundraise for this year. So how do we raise funds in the world that we're currently living? Here we are, meeting on Zoom. A pickup dinner, of course, coupled together with a virtual event, and that is Saturday, May 22nd. Simultaneously, we'll be doing a non-perishable food drive for our friends at Food for People. Food will be prepared and distributed at the Fortuna Fire Department with the help of our local firefighters. And hey, later that night, we'll have a virtual event, auction, bingo game, and all take place via Zoom. So that should be some fun times. I'd love to thank all of our sponsors, of course. We've got Edward Jones, ALSB, Wyatt Whitchurch and Anderson, our friends at Redwood Capital Bank and Tri-Counties Bank. And both Redwood Capital and Tri-Counties Bank are ticket locations. So if you need to pick up tickets, you can do that there.
Hey, Simon,
Yes.
there are a couple of brand new sponsors, and one that is really appreciated is the McLean Foundation through the Gene Lucas Center.
Super. Okay, cool. And we also have, I believe, Coast Central Credit Union. Yes, Coast Central Credit Union's on that list as well. And let's see, our friends at Sequoia Gas are also a sponsor as well. So thank you. Did I miss anybody else? I know this is kind of an active list that's growing and ebbing and flowing, but thank you so much, Ross, for chiming in.
Yeah, Simon, I think the hospital is going to join also, but not for sure, but I think they're going to do it.
Okay, nice. St. Joseph Hospital.
And also Leonardo Logging
Leonardo
and Vern's Furniture.
And Vern's Furniture. Hot dog. This event is moving right along. And I want to thank, here, I'm going to bring the screen share down. I want to thank everybody here for their work on this. I know a lot of us are putting a ton of time in, and it's just going to keep ramping up all the way to the event. So, you know, for everything you've done so far and everything you're going to do over the next just about 3 weeks here, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. On that note, we want to get tickets in the hands of club members that would like tickets before they potentially sell out or go out into the community and they're not as accessible. I thought that it would be good to maybe just do maybe a show of hands, or maybe you could stick up how many tickets you'd like or something. Now, each ticket feeds 2 people. It's the dinner for 2. So you got to do a little bit of math. However many people you want to feed, you could divide that by 2. That's how many tickets you want. All right. So how about throw up your hands for what, and with fingers, if you can fit it on your fingers, how many tickets you want. I see Sal Kenichi would like 1. Anybody else out there? I see Steve Garrison would love 5. Seth McGrath, I see 3 up there. Rick Center 2. Don Jewett 2. Awesome. Anybody else that I'm missing? Make sure you wave them. So yeah. Oh, Ken Houtby 2. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so very much. And we've got this recorded, so we'll scrub back through this video and figure that out and get them in your hands as soon as possible. Thank you so very much.
Don Watkins, did you just say 3?
Oh, 3. I missed Dawn. Thank you, Don. 3 tickets for Dawn. Awesome. Awesome. And thank you so much, Fred Robinson, for taking over the spreadsheet of tickets. John Sapper, of course, for all the work you've been doing and getting those tickets from Fred out in the community. We really appreciate that. Thanks for you 2 stepping up last week. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, good question. Ken's wondering where we can drop off food next week for the food drive. They'll be out of town for the fundraiser. Do we have locations picked already, Aaron?
That's a Rick question, and I think he's ready to answer.
Oh, sweet. Rick.
Yeah, we haven't put the barrels out yet, but if you're leaving, you could bring them up at my house if you want to, Ken.
And
we'll be putting the barrels out probably this next week. We're waiting for signs for one thing.
Okay, super. And I know I was going to have play a role in those signs if
right.
If there's if you could send over any of the verbiage you need in the signage sides, I'll
it's coming today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Awesome. You guys are on it. Cool. Anything else all fired up while we're here? All fired up.
Are we specifying canned food or any kind of packaged?
I've been saying non-perishable. So
non-perishable.
Anything that's boxed and you know, not gonna rot in the bucket, right? So granola bars would work, you know.
No bullfrogs.
No bullfrogs. Yeah, sorry, Sal.
Unless they're freeze dried.
Yeah, you might be able to take those to the food bank though, if grilled or something. Has anybody here had frog legs? How about that? Show of hands for anybody out there who's had some frog legs. Okay, quite a few of us. What now? Is there a good sauce that goes on those? Is it all about the sauce, or is it just grill it up and eat them? Anybody? No comments, they say. Okay.
I think you dip them in ranch dressing.
I'm not a fan of ranch, but sure, to everybody that loves ranch, go for it. Let's see here. Hey, so speaking of food for people and our non-perishable food drive, we have a partnership with Food for People called Backpacks for Kids, where we get food in the hands of people with insecurities, specifically our youth, right? So we go out into, well, right now we're meeting at the GLC, thank you so much, and we're packing together all these bags of food, and then we get them out to the schools, they take them home, and the folks that are doing distance learning and are not in the schools right now, they're actually getting bags of food delivered to them too. So that's pretty fantastic. I see something about whiskey here in the chat. That sounds exciting. But hey, usually what we do is a little temperature check too on who's packing backpacks. So this week we've got Buster and Lori Garrison, as well as Shirley Lipa. And next week, May 12th, Debbie and Jim Scaife, Sue and Dawn Finch, as well as our club's very own John Sapper. And I'm sure there'll be another slew of Rotarians there that are not listed, but thank you so very much for showing up. Hey, I'm going to bring this down and let anybody make any other announcements. Is there anything else going on in the community that we need to know about? Bring it to our attention. How's the time? I know it's slow goings these days. Anybody? No?
Yeah, Simon, speaking of our event coming up, kudos to the folks who have been putting together just some dynamite auction packages. It'll be online auction packages. I won't go through the list, but there are 11 packages that are just going to be fantastic, and from trips to yard packages and everything else. It's going to be really cool. So thanks for all you folks who are working to put that stuff together.
Yeah, and John won't go through the list, but guess what? Before the event happens, I will go through that list so we can see all those awesome auction lot items. So get everybody enthused about it, talking about it, and pass those messages along. We got some fun ones, okay? Sweet. Awesome. Well, I'm going to keep this show moving along. So I see nobody else raising their hand there. Okay. So being an art educator, each week I'm introducing the club to an artist, you know, that I feel like featuring that week. We looked at some of their work, and then I, because I'm such a nice guy, I call on a Rotarian from our club to critique and interpret the artwork. And what's been happening lately is we're actually having like a full-on dialogue with all the club members, which I'm just loving. So let's keep going. Hey, why not? This week, we're going to look at the art of an artist by the name of Paula Rego. And Paula is a Portuguese-born visual artist who is particularly known for her paintings and prints based on storybooks. Rego's style evolved from abstract towards representational, as she has favored pastels over oils for much of her career. Her work often reflects feminism colored by folk themes from native Portugal. And Rego is a prolific painter, printmaker. In her early years, she produced collage work. She's known for these depictions of folk tales, images of young girls, and she brings us together with this method of painting and printmaking, emphasize strong, clearly drawn figures in contrast with the looser style of her early paintings here. And so here we've got some examples of these kind of storybook paintings. We've got a group of, I think it's young adolescent children dancing, and it's in the moonlight there. It's really soft, cool colors going throughout with these dramatic shadows getting cast off the figures there. And then on the left-hand side, we've got a pictorial of Snow White after eating the poison apple, and she's you know, kind of clutching her stomach in pain and winced over there. And I love, as a person who loves drawing figures there, you know, something to notice just how the body is curled and shaped, those diagonal and triangle lines, creating this feeling of discomfort, right, and uneasiness, instead of somebody like straight up and down where they look a little bit more in control. This very tossed over, tilted and slanted look there really adds to this feeling of unsettlingness there in that piece. And hey, there's a little bit of red, of course. Let's keep looking. All right, Rego, she studied in the Slade School of Fine Art, a university college in London, and she exhibited as a member of this London group, and she was one of the first artists in residence at the National Gallery in London. There are two principal reasons why Rego adopted a semi-abstract style in the 1960s. And this is first because abstract dominated this avant-garde art movement that was super popular at the time in these artistic circles, which had set the figurative art kind of on the defense, right? They didn't know what to do because for long periods of time, we were drawing things as they should be drawn and as technically accurate as possible, right? And then this avant-garde and just wild, surrealism was budding too. People were just doing just fantastic stuff that was nothing like a photo could take over, and maybe a response to photography. She was reacting against her training too at this school, where they had a strong emphasis that was placed on anatomical drawing, right? There you go. Under this encouragement of her fellow student and later husband, Victor Willing, Rego kept alongside her official sketchbook. She had a secret sketchbook when she was at the school, in which she would make these free-form drawings, the type that would be frowned upon by her tutors. So I just love the thought of this person who's going to school, creating lots of body of art, right? Just tons and series of art, yet still, you typically you have to keep a sketchbook, you have to enter into it every day. She has an additional sketchbook, just so she can be creative and free and do the things that she wants to do. And here we've got some more figures on the left with, once again, those diagonal triangles, very dynamic body movements, right? This kind of dancing, playing, and almost fierceness too. Look, it's not like your typical dancer photo where they look more dreamy and soft. We've got this almost look like a hurdle jumper or something, like the pain going through their body as they perform these physical excellent tasks. And on the right hand side, this just fantasy style, like weird rabbit head thing. I don't even know what is going on there, but wow, wow. Okay, so this is the time. Whoa, let's zoom in on just some random part of that image there. This is the time where I call on a member of our group to critique and look at work. I think we're going to call on Don Jewett this morning. Don Jewett, are you there, my friend?
Good morning.
Oh, it's your time again to play this game. So this is Paula Rego, and this piece is called Snow White Playing with Her Father's Trophies. What do you think about this? Critique, discuss, interpret?
Yes. Interesting painting. The stag, of course, is a magnificent trophy, and she has that in her lap. Looks like somebody's being punished in the background on the right side. This is, she has short legs because she needs a cushion to have her feet on. And the colors are very pastel colors in the chair, the floor, the wall. Yeah. Simon, I wish I could do you a better job on this one.
No, that's good. As you were trailing off there, I think you were hitting something really nice, which was you talked about the floor and the chair. Look at those patterns that she put on there, right? You could just draw a chair, or you could draw all the little etches and patterns in there, and it looks like this beautifully embroidered chair, right? Lots of subtle little details that are added in there to make the piece fabulous. Anybody else want to help Don Jewett out? Maybe any observations you're making about this? Oh, and the person in the back too, that's an example of what we call forced perspective, right? So she looks really small, like a miniature, almost like a little toy in the back because of the distance away she is, right? So it's,
Yeah, I thought that was another trophy.
oh, maybe.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Rick. Another trophy.
Ooh, whoa, there's some symbology there, maybe. Another
Simon, I'll step in, and I'm going to go with the person in the back is Snow White. And that is the stepsister playing with Snow White's father's trophy. As you put the title to the picture.
You have a sick mind.
And look at the scowl on that trophy wife's face back there.
Yeah.
That frown that won't stop.
Yeah, no, there's definitely high emotional content in this piece, right? You've got a word in the title like playing, where you would think fun and lightheartedness, but when you look at this painting, it seems anything but, right?
Yeah, just to go a step further, I'm looking at the face of the character in the chair, and she's definitely looking off somewhere at someone, and her expression on her face is definitely trying to convey a message, like, I've got your toy here. This the trophy is in my lap and I'm in possession of it. And how do you like that?
Yeah.
The real question is, what is that black cloth covering with the leg behind the chair?
Yeah, it's not a wall. It's not a curtain. There is some kind of leg there.
It could be an easel.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. This could have been live models, right? And so they could have been just controlling the background a little bit by using some object that was laying around the house. But that she actually kept the leg in there too. A lot of times artists will take liberties to modify things to look more like they want them to look instead of how they look. Good observations there. Well done, Jewett. You did pretty fantastic there. I mean, you struggled for a little bit, but you came back strong. So I think maybe just $5, let you off easy.
There we go.
Are you in the Century Club?
I am.
Oh gosh. Hey, you know what? I'm going to pull this screen share down. Is there any fantastic Rotarian out there that you'd like to acknowledge maybe and pass that fine along to?
Oh, somebody out there needs a $5 boost to their Century Club thing.
Don, you have a very close friend who greets you every Wednesday morning.
Oh, Herb Colby. We can pass that along to you then, I guess.
Well, that'll be the last time I greet you.
Oh boy.
Herb, you're just not that vindictive a nature.
All right, I'll keep it. I'd be happy to pay the $5.
Thank you,
Thank you, Herb.
Thank you, Don, for playing along. Hey, and there was a comment too in the chat that I missed there when we were talking about the painting. Somebody said, I think it was Don, said, is the stag a play on the white stag? Food for thought there. Interesting. Okay, something to think about. All right, well, at this time, I think, let's see, just double check my notes here. Yeah, is there anybody that, how about guilty admissions or anything like that? Anybody want to share? It's sharing time. Anybody? Fantastic things happening in your life? Maybe people graduating from college that you want to acknowledge? I don't know. Fishing stories? No? Okay. Everybody's a little quiet. That's because they know Rick Center's coming next week and he means business. All right. So fines will be ablazing. All right. I'll give you one last second here and then I'm going to. All right. No, I don't see anybody. I'm going to pass it over to Aaron Dunn, our program chair, who will introduce this week's program. And I am set up and ready to flick through that slideshow. Aaron Dunn.
Excellent. Thank you, President Simon. It's my pleasure to introduce today Bruce Janigian, who chairs the International Services Committee for Sonoma Valley Rotary. He is a former legal advisor for the U.S. Agency for International Development and has taught and consulted for the UN and universities in several countries. He formerly chaired international services for the Sacramento Downtown Rotary, where 500 met for an intimate lunch every week. And I want to give a shout out to Sonoma Valley Rotary. They do such a fantastic job in everything they do. And when I was district governor, I recognized them as the large Rotary Club of the year. So they have a great track record. We're excited to be working with them. Bruce is going to talk about a Rotary International Global Grant that has an international focus of providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene in Nepal. And so thank you so much for joining us. Bruce, you're on.
Oh my goodness, what a fabulous introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm so delighted to be with you, and I am so impressed with with this club. My goodness, such a sophisticated and astute group meeting this early in the morning. It's fabulous. So thank you all for the invitation to be with you. I want to share a PowerPoint with you and basically have you look at the faces of these young ladies, high school girls in Nepal, rural Nepal. And as you look at them and as we go through this, I want you to think about where we are at in the world today. We have a helicopter that flies on Mars, and then we have these high school girls who literally have to stay home when they have menstrual periods because they have not been taken into account. There's no societal acknowledgement of basic women's health issues. And so this project is to acknowledge this and help these young ladies in 3 high schools. Next slide, please. So this is a water sanitation and hygiene project. It is supported by a host club, and I have to tell you, this Rotary Club of Kathmandu and the folks on the ground there have done such an incredible job with all that they have done. I meet with them. We met with them just yesterday morning. 4 of them, all articulate, all committed, and they put together such a fantastic project that it just knocked our socks off, and we said we will be the international club for this one. We'll take it on. And I have one of my club members, one of my committee members, Dave Byers, who was trekked across Nepal, and he said, I want to be the lead on this. And so he's doing a great job, and we are really, really so excited and pleased whenever we meet with these folks. Next slide, please. So here is where the center of the project is focused, the Batadi region of Nepal. It's a rural area, and it involves 3 secondary schools. You can see the total number of students is over 1,000. Next slide, please. So what it involves, that's another good picture of these young ladies. What it involves is providing them with toilets, clean water toilets, and basically building a cottage industry, producing menstrual pads for these kids so that they can stay in school. The whole idea is to keep these girls in school, and in the meantime, to educate the community in what young ladies go through as they mature. Distribute kits to allow young women to continue school attendance with dignity. And you can see the goals of this project there before you. It is the kind of thing that it's amazing in this day and age that we're even talking about this, but yet I have encountered so many women, even in our country, that were not informed about their natural menstrual cycles by their own mothers. It's just amazing that this is a subject that has been kind of a taboo subject. So fortunately, we're going to help these girls, and we're determined to bring this project home. Next slide, please. So here's the project budget. We're trying to come up with this figure. It's a figure that is accounted for in great detail. We are determined that these people are going to get this amount of money one way or another because they deserve it. And it is such a well-organized project. They have put in so much time and attention and detailing in this. It was just a pleasure to pick this project up. I know many international projects require a lot of back and forth with the host country. This one just was a pleasure. Totally responsive, totally helpful. Next slide, please. So we out bringing in funds, and you can see from our District 5130 the amounts that we have brought in to date. And we really need additional funding for this project, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But we've brought in these clubs from our district, and we have reached out across the world, and you can see in our other districts from Liverpool West in Australia, Blaricum is in the Netherlands, Kronberg is in Germany, and the Kathmandu Club itself is putting in $1,000, and $1,000 in Nepal is a lot of money that they're coming up with because they believe so strongly in this project. So this is the money raised to date, and we are committed to getting this application in to Rotary International on May 15th. So this is a time factor that we really want to abide by and get this in, because, as you know, the match from Rotary International is being somewhat reduced going forward. So we want to get it in before that, so we get the most we can get for these for this project and these kids in Nepal. Next slide, please. So here's the funding status, doing the math with what we have. The beauty of our district clubs is when we have the district club, we get the DDF match, which we don't get from clubs outside our district. So our district is being very helpful, and the money that we raise from our clubs within the district really counts for a whole lot. And that's why we're very hopeful that we can get a contribution from your club. And we're, as I say, we're up against it with regard to bringing in additional funds. So you see where we are, where the shortfall is, and how much we still need. Next slide, please. So this is where the contributions go, how to do it, and I'm glad this is being recorded and that you have this information. I don't have to walk you through it, but the point is, it's very valuable that you are a district club and that you are as motivated and sophisticated as you are to realize the importance of this project. And it sets a message, I think, sends a message, I think, also to what's going on in Afghanistan. There's a concern with regard to the Taliban taking women back into the Stone Age, and we're trying to move the societies forward, and hope that sets a model for the region not to be pulled backward. Next slide, please. So there's an organization in Nepal called Connection Nepal that is focused on this kind of project, and they have people on the ground that will be overseeing it in this rural area. They have a website with a lot of information. They're tried, true, and tested. This is a project that is supported by the UN. It's supported by the progressive forces of Nepal. They're trying to bring their country up, the rural areas up into the modern world. And we really are anxious to support them. Next slide, please. And a big thank you for hearing this. And I'm delighted this is being recorded so that you can have an opportunity to review this later if you choose to do that. I think if there is a next slide, let's go to that. Otherwise, we'll just have a discussion.
Well, Bruce, before we go too much further,
Yes.
On behalf of Frank Ramos, who is a co-chair along with me of the international committee, we had planned all along, if Gold Beach in Southwest Eureka can give $1,000, we can give $1,000. So we have set aside from the international committee $1,000 for this district project. We're so excited. believe it, like you were saying, believe it or not, this is a worldwide problem. In Uganda, when I was there, girls not only miss that time for school, they drop out of school. And that's, and there's no supplies and there's no education. And it sounds like this is very similar, and the shock that it happens in this day and age all over the world. We know the importance of this, and so we're so excited to be able to contribute to this project, and thank you for your good work.
Well, thank you very much for this generosity, and I can assure you that these people will make the very best use of these funds. It's something, you know, I feel we're building a bond between us. All the clubs that are participating are really pulling the district into a very, very good place. This is the first time I've been out on an international project working with our district as much as I am. And it gives me an opportunity to see really more of the clubs and to get this feeling of a close-knit cooperation. You know, this gives me a really, really great feeling for our district and for all the good work that our various clubs are doing across the district. So thank you again very, very much. Ross?
Hey, Bruce, can you explain to our club, for members who may not know, how did Sonoma Valley go about finding a project like this? Was it an international project fair? How did you find out about the Kathmandu project?
Well, it's a great question, and I'm delighted you asked it. So there is an organization called Global Offsite Care, which is a telemedicine project that is that operates, and we have supported it. We've supported several projects without being the principal sponsor. This is run out of Sebastopol. And the Global Offsite Care with a gentleman named Michael Cook, who is an incredibly active Rotarian, does a great job. So we've contributed to that. And one of the things we've been supporting is an oncology center near Kathmandu. And Michael contacted us and said, you know, here's a great project, great people. I know them, I've worked with them. They're involved with Global Offsite Care with telemedicine. And I think this is a winner of a project. Would you guys like to be the principal mover and shaker on this thing? And you know, we looked at all the detailing that was provided. We looked at who these folks were. We knew they had the track record. We knew Michael's involvement, and so we said, heck yes, this is a winner of a project. We're all on board with it. Thank you.
Awesome. Are there any other questions there for Bruce? Okay. Bruce, thank you so very much for coming and visiting. I know.
Thank you very much. I just want to tell you how proud I am of each of you for participating as you are, not just for this project, but just for what you're doing in the community. It's been a pleasure to hear your involvement across the board. If I were in your community, I wouldn't hesitate a second to join you and bring all my friends into your club. Simon, what an awesome job you're doing leading this group. Thank you all very much. I'll leave it to you now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Well, before we part here, why not a drawing, right? Great way to end a meeting. You're going to dip into the magical mayonnaise jar that has been spray painted black for a ticket. It will have a club member's name on it, and they could win.
Potentially millions.
There we go. Potentially.
$55.
I don't think he's here this morning. The king of beef.
Check Killjoy, Ross.
But Herb is.
He's here.
Herb is here. All right. Walt's not here. He was the first name I drew. Right? No. And so, Herb, what will it be, sir? What could you win today? How about, oh man, Craft Talk or 25 bucks?
No.
The best ball ever. What do you think, Herb?
25 bucks.
25 bucks, he says. All right. Thank you so much.
But Herb, the rest of us want to know about your life in Sonoma County as a young grocer.
Yeah, I grew up in Sonoma, the town of Sonoma, a long time ago.
Oh,
Know that?
well, Herb, we found out something and we got 25 bucks from you. Thank you so much.
Gee, it's been a fun morning.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up every week, and just the banter and the service that you guys do in the community, and also the work coming up to our big event here, All Fired Up. So thank you so very much. Have a marvelous Wednesday. Enjoy your day, everybody. We'll see you soon. This club meeting is adjourned.